Chapter 24. Not to disappoint his people, Yao often made secret trips in an attempt to find a good and talented man to succeed him. One day Yao was walking through some remote mountains when he saw a man twirling a gourd ladle in a stream. He was intrigued and asked, "Why do you twirl your gourd ladle about in the water?" The man smiled and answered, "I've freed myself from worldly burdens. I've forsaken fame, riches, and family. I wish only to live here in the forests, eating salted vegetables and drinking from the springs. I'll be content to pass my life this way." Yao was delighted with the reply and thought, "This man dislikes the riches and glories of the world, and distances himself from worldly disputes. He's a man of outstanding caliber, and just the man I should choose as my successor." He said, "I'm none other than Emperor Yao. As I can see that you're so virtuous, I would like to abdicate in your favor. Would you accept the throne?" Hearing his words, the man immediately stood up, threw his gourd ladle on the ground, and stamped on it, smashing it to pieces. Then he covered his ears with his hands and rushed to the stream where he began to wash his ears vigorously. As he washed, another man came up, leading an ox to the stream. "Sir, I must water my ox," the man called, but he just went on washing his ears. Perplexed, the man demanded, "How much dirt is in your ears that it takes you this long?" It was a long while before he finished washing and finally replied, "Emperor Yao asked me to succeed him to the throne and polluted my ears dreadfully. I had to wash them in the stream. I'm sorry I delayed you watering your ox." The man immediately led his ox upstream. "Why do you take it up there?" the ear washer asked. The man replied, "By washing your ears, you've polluted the water. I don't want to pollute the mouth of my ox." This story of the lofty and pure is the origin of that line. Prince Wen concluded the story. The party continued on its way, enjoying the spring scenery. Soon they saw a group of woodcutters coming towards them singing. There are certainly phoenixes and unicorns, but no rulers virtuous enough to see them. When the dragon rises, clouds appear, and with the tiger comes the wind. But no one cares to seek out the talented. Remember Yi Yin that toiled in the fields. He thought of Yao and Shun beside the plow. Without the 3 visits from King Tang, he would have remained a recluse like Hermit Zhuo. Look at Fu Yu the mason, unknown and poor, content to brave hardship in his cape of straw. Had King Gaozong not dreamed of him that year? He would have worked on stone all his life. Ever since the ancient times, some have attained glory, while others remained in obscurity. I'm not the only one. Who might spend his life on the banks of a stream? I play my flute in the sunshine, and urge on the ox under white clouds, while kings, dukes, and the powerful all fall as fate decrees. Unconcerned, I smile on the heavens, while awaiting an enlightened ruler." Prince Wen found the song to be extremely well written, and once more thought there must be a talented man among the crowd. He ordered General Xingjia to go and find him out. Xingjia rode over. "Is there a talented man among you? If so, please come forward and see my master." The woodcutters laid their loads on the ground. "Sorry, there's no talented man amongst us, General," they replied. "They say there's no such man among them, Your Highness." Xingjia told Prince Wen. "How can that be?" Prince Wen asked them. "The song's excellent." "We didn't write the song, Your Highness," one of the woodcutters replied. "About 10 li from here at Pineshi Stream, there's an old man who fishes all day. When we return from woodcutting and rest there, we always hear him sing this song. We didn't realize Your Highness was coming. Please forgive us. If that's the case, you may all go," Prince Wen directed. Riding along, he couldn't let the matter drop from his mind. Then a woodcutter appeared, carrying 2 loads of firewood on a shoulder pole. He was singing happily. "Spring waters flow endlessly. Spring flowers are gay. Meeting no opportunity. A hermit I'll stay. No one knows my ideals. They see a mere fisherman, casting his line all day. Hearing the song, Prince Wen sighed. This at last must be the worthy man I'm seeking. But Sun Yisheng looked at the woodcutter and exclaimed, Your Highness, he looks just like Wu Ji, the man who killed Wang Xiang. You must be wrong, minister. My divination showed clearly that Wu Ji committed suicide. How can he still be alive? Prince Wen objected. Sun Yisheng looked at the woodcutter closely and was convinced that it was Wu Ji. He ordered that Wu Ji be arrested at once. Having come so unexpectedly upon the prince, Wu Ji had no time to dodge aside and hide himself. He could only put down his load and kneel before the general. As soon as Xingmian ascertained his identity, he seized him and brought him before Prince Wen. The prince went scarlet with anger. You damned rascal! How dare you practice such deception on me? He shouted, then said to Sun Yisheng, Supreme Minister, such a dishonest citizen must be sent to court for trial. He's a murderer and has cheated the government. He must be seriously dealt with. He's held my divination in contempt. He must be severely punished as a warning to others. Wu Ji kowtowed on the ground, weeping. I've always strictly obeyed the law and have never dared to break it. I killed Wang Xiang accidentally. When I was set free, I went to Panxi Stream about 3 li from here and sought help from an old man called Jiang Sheng or Jiang Ziya. His alternative name is Flying Bear. He took me as his disciple, then told me to go home and carry out the instructions he gave me. This freed me from any trouble and allowed me to live and work as usual. Your Highness. Even ants and worms struggle to live as long as they can, and men certainly cherish their lives even more. I beg you to forgive me. Sun Yisheng immediately turned to Prince Wen. I should congratulate you, Your Highness. The flying bear that Wu Ji just mentioned is the very same that you dreamed of on the spiritual terrace. King Gaozong was blessed with Fu Yu as his prime minister after dreaming of a flying bear. Now you've had a similar dream. I suggest that you forgive Wu Ji and let him lead the way to your new minister. Prince Wen approved Sun Yisheng's proposal and set Wu Ji free. Wu Ji kowtowed in gratitude, then hurried to the forest in search of Jiang Ziya. When they arrived at the forest, Prince Wen and his party dismounted so as not to startle the worthy recluse whom they were seeking. Accompanied by Sun Yisheng, Prince Wen continued on into the forest on foot. Wu Ji grew flustered when he couldn't find his master anywhere. Is your master here? Sun Yisheng asked. He was here just a moment ago, but I can't find him now. Where does he live? Prince Wen asked. In a cottage not far from here. Wu Ji led them to the cottage, and Prince Wen knocked gently on the door. A young boy came out to meet them. Is your teacher at home? Prince Wen asked with a smile. No, he's not. He went out to stroll in the forest with a friend. Do you know when he'll be back? He never returns at a definite time. Sometimes he returns in a few minutes, but sometimes he doesn't come back for days. He never has a fixed destination. He tours the lakes and streams, or wanders in the deep mountains, or discusses the way with his teachers and friends. It's impossible to know when he'll be back. Your Highness, said Sun Yisheng. To engage a worthy man, one must be single-minded and sincere. Today we're on a pleasure trip and came here only by chance, so naturally, we've failed to meet him. As we know from history, when Emperor Shennong called on Changsang, when Emperor Shun Yun called on Lao Peng, when Emperor Huangdi called on Feng Ho, and when King Tang called on Yi Yin, they were all sincere and earnest. They abstained from meat, washed themselves thoroughly, and chose an auspicious date for the visit. These are the rites that should be observed in order to show due respect to the talented. We had better return home now, choose a lucky date, and come back here later. Come with him back to the palace. When they got back to the stream, he composed a poem. To rule, I need a long-term plan and the assistance of a talented man. Today I've failed to see the sage. But when to meet him and end the misery? When he saw Jiang Ziya's fishing rod still floating on the water, Prince Wen felt even more upset. He chanted, "I expected the sage. But I see only his rod. The green thread floats beneath the verdant willow, and the stream sparkles while its waters flow in vain." Prince Wen lingered on, unwilling to leave, but Sun Yisheng finally persuaded him to return to the capital. Arriving at the palace at dusk, Prince Wen ordered that his ministers stay in the palace for 3 days to purify themselves, in preparation for the second visit. General Nun Gongkuo, however, voiced his disapproval. "The old fisherman may have a false reputation. How can we treat him with honor and glory without ascertaining the truth? If he's not as talented as we've been led to believe, Your Highness will be made a fool. As I see it, there's no need to take such pains. I'll go there tomorrow and ask him to come here to see you. If he's as talented as they say, it still won't be too late then to treat him with honor. Otherwise, you may dismiss him. There's no need for you to fast and bathe. General, this matter cannot be dealt with like that. The state's in turmoil, and the people cannot live in peace. Many highly talented men have secluded themselves in the mountains. Our master's dream about the flying bear shows clearly that heaven will bestow upon us a highly talented man to help us in our cause. We must follow the example of the ancient sage emperors and secure his service with exceptional sincerity. At a time like this, no talented man will voluntarily offer his service. General, you mustn't say such things and slacken our efforts." Sun Yisheng refuted him. Prince Wen was very pleased with Sun Yisheng's rebuttal and said, "You're quite right. I'm of exactly the same mind." All the ministers remained in the palace for 3 days, cleansing their hearts and bodies. On the 4th day, they bathed, dressed in official robes, and accompanied Prince Wen in his phoenix carriage at the head of a long caravan. Wu Ji, now general of military virtue, led the whole procession down the streets lined with flute players. The whole city surged out to watch them. They traveled 35 li to the forest. Prince Wen ordered his soldiers to halt and wait quietly outside the forest so as not to startle the sage. He himself dismounted and went on foot with Sun Yisheng. To his great delight, they came upon Jiang Ziya sitting beside the stream. Prince Wen walked up quietly and stood behind him. As he approached, Jiang Ziya deliberately began to sing. "The west wind blows and white clouds fly. Where shall I be when the year comes to an end? 5 phoenixes sing as my true master appears. Few realize my talent as I sit here fishing." When his song was over, Prince Wen asked softly, "Are you happy, my worthy man?" Looking back and seeing the prince, Jiang Ziya instantly threw his fishing rod aside and knelt down. "Please forgive me. I didn't know Your Highness was approaching and failed to welcome you." Prince Wen hastily helped him up and bowed. "I've admired you for a long time, but not having shown you sufficient respect, failed to meet you on my first visit. Now I've fasted in order to express my sincerity, and I'm happy that I have the honor to meet you today." He replied, "I am old and lack talent. I can neither administer the country so that the people may live in peace, nor subjugate the frontier tribes with the little knowledge I possess of civil or military affairs. I'm ashamed that you should have wasted your time in coming here. You mustn't be so modest," said Sun Yisheng. "To show our sincerity, we've fasted and bathed in the hope that you'll accept an appointment by His Highness. At present the nation's disturbed and divided, and there's no one to bring an end to the chaos. King Zhou distances good ministers and maintains a close relationship with the minions. He wallows in wine and women and treats his subjects brutally. As a result, the marquises have rebelled and the people are unable to live in peace. My master worries about it all the time, unable to eat or sleep properly. He's long admired your virtue and comes with gifts today in the hope that you'll help him rule the nation. If you accept, Prince Wen and the people will be overjoyed. Why not use your talents to lift the people from their suffering? The future generations will be forever grateful. Sun Yisheng laid out the gifts they had brought, and Jiang Ziya accepted them. He expressed his thanks, and told his boy servant to take them to the inner room. Sun Yisheng drove Prince Wen's carriage to the cottage and invited Jiang Ziya to board it. Jiang knelt down. "Your Highness, I'm deeply grateful for the great favor you've shown me. How could I dare to exceed the bounds of what's proper for a man of my status and ride in the prince's carriage? I would never dare do such a thing. I arranged the carriage especially for you. You must ride in it so as not to thwart my good intentions." Prince Wen urged him. But Jiang Ziya still refused to board the coach. "Since the worthy man won't take your carriage, you may let him ride your horse while you yourself take the coach," Sun Yisheng suggested. "That would belie the sincerity I've shown in the last several days." Prince Wen disapproved of the idea. After more urging and more polite refusals, Prince Wen finally yielded. He took the carriage while Jiang Ziya rode on his horse. Guarded by infantry and cavalry men, Jiang Ziya was warmly greeted all along the way to the palace. Fortune smiled on Jiang Ziya at the age of 80. Reaching the palace, King Wen immediately held court. After the exchange of usual courtesies, he appointed Jiang Ziya Prime Minister of the West Grand Dukedom. Jiang Ziya expressed his thanks and then attended a banquet in his honor. All the ministers offered their congratulations. Jiang Ziya ruled with discipline, law, and virtue, and the dukedom prospered. Work was begun on a new prime minister's mansion in the capital. News of the developments in West Qi soon reached the Five Passes, and Commander Han Rong of Sishui Pass immediately sent a messenger to Zhaoge. If you want to know what became of Jiang Ziya, you must read the next chapter.